Yes, friends, today we are going to discuss that why it is very difficult for the India Alliance. Okay, you must be knowing that India Alliance has been formed by the opposition, and I am going to discuss that why is it very difficult for the India Alliance to win 2024 elections. Okay, and the thing to be noted over here is that I am saying difficult, not impossible. Okay, I am not saying that it is impossible for India Alliance to win 2024, but I am just saying that it is difficult for them to win 2024 elections. Why? We will learn now. Okay, so point to be noted over here is that this video related questions will never be asked by UPSC. Okay, please note that this video related questions will never be asked by UPSC because it is a political video. Okay, and political questions are never asked in the IS examination. Okay, political questions are never asked in the IS examination. Some political questions are do asked, but they are very few and they are limited to the Hindu and Indian Express editorials. Okay, so they do ask political questions, for example the governor versus state government controversies which are happening in the country. Those kind of political questions they ask, but they ask these political questions only when they ask these political questions only when there is some editorial in the Hindu or Indian Express. Okay, if there is an editorial in the Hindu or Indian Express, for example when the West Bengal governor and state government of West Bengal, when they were at the loggerheads, मीन्स उनमें लड़ाई हो गई थी, एट दे वेयर एट द लॉगर हेड्स मीन्स उनमें लड़ाई हो गई थी जब, ठीक है ना. सो व्हेन दे वेयर एट द लॉगर हेड्स then controversy arose, and such questions are asked in the IS examination. If there is some editorial in the Hindu or Indian Express, then such questions are asked, but no question is ever asked. Okay, no question is ever asked that who will win, who is going to win the next election. Okay, such questions are never asked that who is going to win the next election, although such questions are asked. Political questions, for example governor versus state government, such questions are asked. Okay, but who will win the next election, such questions are never asked. So this video is to give you a deep insight. Okay, this video is just to give a deep insight. Okay, deep insight about what is happening in the country. So this video is just to give you a deep insight of what is happening. Now, why it is very difficult for the India Alliance to win 2024 elections. Now here comes the point number 1. Now, huge financial dominance by the BJP. Okay, there is full financial dominance by the BJP. According to Association for Democratic Reforms, BJP alone has 1.5 times the money which entire India Alliance has 28 to 32 parties, right? India Alliance has 28 to 32 parties, somewhere around 28 to 32 parties. India Alliance has those. So BJP alone has 1.5 times the money which these 32 political parties have. 28 to 32 political parties, whatever money they have, BJP alone has 1.5 times the money. Okay, this means that when the elections will approach, on the front page of every newspaper, only BJP is going to be there. Okay, so this is very clear. In the form of advertisements, only BJP is going to be there on the front page of every newspaper. So the famous Hindi saying says, there is a famous Hindi proverb, famous saying in Hindi, that जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. Okay, whoever is the most visible, he wins the election. Okay, so whosoever is the most visible person in politics, that person wins the election. So जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. So according to this, BJP chances of BJP winning the election is very high. Now point number 2, the second reason why BJP might win 2024, with the help of communal media. Okay, they have hacked the minds of somewhere around 15%, 20%, 25% in areas such as Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat. Okay, in areas such as Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat, this ratio goes to 30-35%. Okay, so with the help of communal media, they have hacked the minds of around 20%. All India average, if we take all India average, then they have hacked the minds of around 20% Hindus. These 20% Hindus will always vote for the BJP. Okay, they will always vote for the BJP as they think that Muslims are their biggest enemies. Okay, so these 20% Hindus whose minds have been hacked by the communal media, They will always vote for the BJP, as they think that Muslims are their biggest enemies. And BJP is portrayed by Godi media, okay? And BJP is portrayed by Godi media, means the communal media which I am talking about, the pliable media which I am talking about, the laptop media which I am talking about. So the BJP is portrayed by Godi media as a savior of the Hindus. So BJP is portrayed by the Godi media as a savior of the Hindus. This is very clear. Okay, and the minds have of 20% Hindus, all India average. Okay, so all India average is 20%. If you go to the South India, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, there the ratio is very low. In Kerala and Tamil Nadu, only 2 to 3% Hindus' minds have been hacked. Okay, in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, only 2 to 3% Hindus' minds have been hacked. If you go to Northeast, then only 5% of the Hindus' minds have been hacked. If you go to Kashmir, then 70% of the Hindus, their minds have been hacked. If you go to Uttar Pradesh, then 35% Hindus, their minds have been hacked. Okay. Then if you go to Gujarat, then around 40% Hindus, their minds have been hacked. So the according to state to state, it depends. So this is the thing. Now let us understand the fight between Hindus and Muslims. Okay. Now let us understand this fight between Hindus and Muslims. Now Godi media portrays that Hindus and Muslims can never be united. What does the Godi media portray? It portrays that Hindus and Muslims can never be united. Okay. Now tell me one thing, in a country where two twin brothers, I am talking about two twin brothers. So in a country where two twin brothers belonging to the same caste and same religion. Okay, two twin brothers, they have the same parents, they have the same caste, they have the same religion, and they fight over property. Okay, they fight over property, right? So how can you expect people of entirely different religions to always agree? If two twin brothers fight with each other over property issues, those twin brothers have the same caste and same religion, same parents even, same siblings even, okay, and they are fighting over property. So how can you expect people of entirely different religions to always agree with each other? So what's the point in spreading hatred and violence and communal history and right-wing extremism unnecessarily? So my question to the Godi media is, so what's the point in spreading hatred and violence and communal history and right-wing extremism unnecessarily? Okay. So this is one part of it. So because of Godi media, the minds of 20% Hindus have been hacked. This was point number 2. What was point number 1? Huge financial dominance by the BJP. Now point number 3. Lack of empathy of Indians towards people of other religion and caste and sect. Okay. If we talk about religion, then Hindus have very low empathy for Muslims and Muslims have very low empathy for Hindus. Okay. This is very evident. The society was always like this only. Okay. The society was always like this. Ever since 1947, the society was like this only. But the Godi media actually exacerbated. Okay. It actually worsened the situation of India. So lack of empathy of Indians, by Indians I mean majority of Indians, okay, majority of Indians, not entire India but majority of Indians. So lack of empathy of majority of Indians towards people of other religion. Religion means Hindu versus Muslim, okay, caste means Dalit versus upper caste or Adivasi versus upper caste, and sect, okay, means in Muslims Shia versus Sunnis, okay, in Muslims also there is fight, right, Shia versus Sunnis. So all these things are there. So lack of empathy of Indian towards people of other caste, religion or sect. This is one. Let us understand with the help of example. 80% of upper caste people hate reservation. Okay, 80% of upper caste people hate reservation without even knowing what is the purpose of reservation. They have never ever read a book on reservation. Why the reservation was brought, they have never read a book. Okay, they have never even looked at it in an unbiased manner. Okay. So 80% people of the upper caste hate reservation without even knowing what is the purpose of reservation. Without reading any book, they have never read any book on reservation, they have never understood other person's viewpoint, and just on the basis of WhatsApp forwards, okay, just on the basis of WhatsApp forwards they hate reservation. Now another example comes over here, that lack of empathy for people of other religion, caste or sect. Marathas in Maharashtra, which are a forward caste, okay, want reservation unnecessarily. Because they are a forward caste, so why should they get reservation? But they want reservation unnecessarily. So Marathas in Maharashtra are a forward caste, want reservation unnecessarily just because they feel jealous of lower caste. Okay, they are upper caste and lower caste are getting the reservation. So Marathas always keep demanding that please give us reservation because they are jealous of the lower caste. These are the same people who write books against reservation. These Marathas, means majority of them, obviously a liberal group of Marathas is also there, but apart from that liberal group is very small, by the way. That liberal group of Marathas is very small, but whatever it may be, that liberal group of Maratha, if you leave them, then 70% of Marathas I am talking about, 60-70% Marathas, okay, these are the same people who write books against reservation, but when it comes to their caste, okay, they write books against reservation, but when it comes to their caste, okay, they want reservation. They are saying that reservation is bad for the society. If the reservation is bad for the society and for India, then why are you demanding reservation? Why are you demanding reservation if reservation is bad for India and it is very much what we can say, it is harmful for the nation, and incompetent people are coming into the job because of reservation, then why does your caste want reservation then? So the thing is the attitude of an average Indian, okay, the attitude of an average Indian is like this: मेरा कुत्ता टॉमी, तेरा कुत्ता है कुत्ता. Okay, you must have heard this saying. It is a very common saying in Hindi that my faults are my virtues, my faults are my virtues, but your vices are your vices. Okay, so this is the thing. This shows hypocrisy of Indian people. Now let us understand another example of lack of empathy towards people of other religion, caste or sect. 80% Hindus, 80% of Hindus don't talk about violence against Muslims after 2014. 80% of Hindus are quiet about it. They don't talk about violence against Muslims after 2014. Whereas 70% Muslims, okay, whereas 70% Muslims remain silent on the issue of Kashmiri Pandits in Kashmir. Okay, so 70% of Muslims remain quiet on Kashmiri Pandits, and 80% Hindus will remain quiet on, let's say, Godhra riots. Okay, so 80% Hindus will remain quiet on Godhra riots, and 70% Muslims will remain quiet on, you can say, Kashmiri Pandits. Okay, so BJP will take Hindus on its side. So BJP will take Hindus on its side, and AIMIM will take Muslims on its side, and thus secular parties like Indian National Congress will suffer in the election. Okay, so INC will suffer ultimately because BJP will take Hindus on its side, AIMIM will take Muslims on its side, and secular parties like INC or the left will suffer, or TMC, let's say, it will suffer, or Samajwadi Party, let's say, it will also suffer. Okay, so like that. Now, fourth point, 99.99% of media being bootlicker of the BJP, that is Godi media. Okay, that is a different story altogether. That how was 99.99% media taken under the government? How was 99.99% media taken under the government? That is a completely different story. Okay, it can be told in rather another video. Okay, why 99.99% of media, how it was corrupted by the BJP ever since 2014. It can be there can be a 5-hour long video on this, that how 99.99% media was taken away, and persons like Punya Prasanna Vajpayee, Ravish Kumar, Abhisar Sharma and many others were forced to resign from their job. Ajit Anjum was forced to resign from his job. Even I am not a journalist, but I am a civil services teacher, and even I was forced to resign in 2018 from the Delhi offline coaching. So well, anyways, so example, do you know, so 99% of media is bootlicker of the BJP. So let us understand the situation now, how this will lead to India Alliance losing the elections. Let us understand how 99.99% of media becoming the bootlicker of BJP, this particular fourth point, how it will lead to India Alliance losing the elections. Let us understand with the help of examples. Okay, now the supporters of BJP have reduced in the past 1 year. If you look at the past 6 months, the supporters of BJP have significantly reduced. But the point is that the significant reduction in BJP's supporters, that's not because of BJP's policies. Okay, that's not because of BJP's policies. Okay, then they don't know the complete truth. They only know that we are not, for example, the Vidhva pension, okay, means the pension for the widows. Now, pension for the widows was decreased by 200 rupees by the BJP. whatever pension BJP gave to the widow women, it was reduced by 200 rupees by the BJP. So that's why people, a significant number of people in the past 6 months have shifted from BJP towards Congress. Okay, they have shifted. But the point is, still they can be once again brought to the BJP side. Okay, although they have left the BJP side right now, but still they can be brought to the BJP side. How? Let us understand. Do you know why electricity bills are increasing? Do you know this? The answer is Adani. Okay. Now, whenever someone says that electricity bills are increasing because of Adani, whenever someone says this, okay, so people say that you are talking political. It is an accusation, political accusation. What do people say about electricity bills increasing? What do people say about electricity bills increasing? I am telling you. People say that you are just making political accusation. Okay, what is the proof that because of Adani electricity bills have increased? The proof is that the media which is not amongst this 99.99%, okay, 0.01% media which is independent, it is mostly on YouTube and some English newspapers like The Telegraph or some regional newspaper of West Bengal and some regional newspaper of Kerala and Tamil Nadu. Those people have clearly stated, okay, those people like Malayalam newspaper, one Malayalam newspaper, one Tamil newspaper, one Bengali newspaper, one Urdu newspaper and The Telegraph, okay, they have clearly stated this, okay, because they are amongst the 0.01% media, and amongst the YouTube media there is some YouTube media also, right? So the YouTube media such as Newsclick and The Wire, they have claimed, and it is true also. And the Financial Times, the Financial Express or Financial Times, I don't know what is the name of the newspaper exactly, most probably it is Financial Express, okay. So it has clearly stated that because of Adani the electricity bills are increasing, okay. Now this is not a political accusation, but if you tell someone going on the street, if you tell about this to someone who is going on the street, he will say that it is just a political accusation. He doesn't know that it is truth, okay. So this is the problem. So why will he stop voting for BJP? Why will he stop voting for BJP? Because he doesn't know the truth, okay. So this is the thing. Now let us understand one more point. Why load shedding, which was stopped in 2012 under the UPA, the load shedding was stopped in 2012 under the UPA, the load shedding started again in 2020. Why the load shedding, that is power cut, again started in 2020? The reason for this is also Adani's coal scam. The reason behind this is Adani coal scam, okay. Again it is not a political accusation, although the India Alliance is raising this issue, but people still think that it is political accusation. They are not thinking that it is truth, okay. But it is truth in fact, because 0.01% media has shown this, and it is truth. So only 0.01% media shows the truth. So how will innocent Indian ever come to know what is happening in the country? And if they don't come to know what is happening in the country, only 0.01% media shows the truth, and innocent people, innocent Indians don't come to know what is happening in the country, then why will they stop voting for the BJP? Why will they stop voting for the BJP, and why will they give votes to the India Alliance? Okay, because many of the Indians don't even have access to this 0.01% media. Many Indians who don't have smartphones, they don't have access to this 0.01% media, okay. And even if they have access to this 0.01% media, the problem is that as 99% media is corrupt, so the people start criticizing in fact this media, okay. People start saying that what is the proof? Yeah, I think you are a Congressy media. What do people say about honest media nowadays? I think it is a Congressy media, or I think it is a leftist media. Actual reality is very different, okay. But actual reality is very different, that 99.99% media is gone, only 0.01% media is there, okay. So this is the truth. But majority of now, as only 0.01% media shows the truth, this media will seem to be odd man out, okay. This media will seem to be odd man out. Instead, even after showing the truth, despite showing the truth, it seems to be odd man out. It seems to be odd man out even after showing the truth. So the innocent Indians don't come to know what is happening in the country. Okay. Now, fifth point, why BJP will win 80% chances that BJP will win 2024. Again, the reason, judiciary is getting more and more inclined with the BJP. Okay, judiciary is getting, there have been questions raised in America also. The questions have been raised regarding the independence of judiciary in India. So judiciary is getting more and more inclined with the BJP. Now, examples, hijab ban. Okay, they have banned the hijab. Thus, they have actually, it was a it was an attack on freedom of religion. Hijab ban was an attack on freedom of religion. Okay, please do not include teen talaq in this. Okay, because teen talaq is very different issue. The teen talaq was it was a good step. Okay, by the judiciary to stop teen talaq. It was a good step. I welcome that step. But this particular step by the judiciary, hijab ban, this is very controversial and this is very bad. Okay, it was an attack on Muslim women. Okay, hijab ban was an attack on Muslim women. Then point number 2, and the hijab ban was brought by the Karnataka High Court. Hijab ban was brought by the Karnataka High Court. So the judiciary is also getting more and more inclined with the BJP. Now point number 2, example number 2. Okay, judiciary did not declare love jihad laws unconstitutional. Okay, it could have declared. If judiciary was active, then it should have instantly declared love jihad laws as unconstitutional, but it did not. It did not do so. Okay. Now, not declaring electoral bonds unconstitutional. This is the third example of judiciary getting inclined with the BJP. Okay, not declaring electoral bonds unconstitutional. Now, Ayodhya judgment judge becoming Lok Sabha member of BJP. I think Rajya Sabha member or Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, I don't know. But something like Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, I don't know. Most probably Rajya Sabha. So Ayodhya judgment judge becomes the Rajya Sabha member of the BJP. This shows, and not just one judge. Okay, all the five judges of the Ayodhya judgment have got something from the BJP. All the five judges of the Ayodhya judgment have got something from the BJP as a gift. Okay. Now, this is one more interesting point. Judge says, a Supreme Court judge has said this. A Supreme Court judge has said this, that I am afraid to give bail. I am afraid to give bail to you. A person was there who was put in jail by the BJP. Okay, a person was there who was put in jail by the BJP government. Now, the judge said in his hearing, judge said that I am afraid to give bail to you because of fear of lynching. Okay. So the judge was afraid. So the Supreme Court judge was afraid. The name of the judge I won't tell you, but the Supreme Court judge said this, that I am afraid to give bail to you because you are an opposer of the BJP, and I am afraid that I would get lynched if I give bail to you. If I give bail to you, I would be lynched on the streets. Okay, so because of fear of lynching, I am afraid to give bail to you. So this is what the judge said. Okay, this again shows that the judiciary is getting more and more inclined with the BJP. Okay. Now, point number 6, example number 6. Now, not example number 6, point number 6 of this. Okay, this was the 5th point why BJP will win 2024. Judiciary getting more and more inclined with the BJP. Now, point number 6, Ram Mandir doors. Okay, Ram Mandir doors will be opened in January 2024. Ram Mandir doors will be opened in January 2024. Okay. So the WhatsApp, the Godi media, etc. The WhatsApp, the Telegram, Twitter, Facebook, okay, Godi media, etc. will be full of anti-Muslim posts. They will be full of anti-Muslim posts after the Ram Mandir doors will be opened in January 2024. This will improve BJP's performance. This will again improve BJP's performance. Okay. Now, point number 7, which is the main point of why BJP wins. Okay, and how it will win 2024. Propaganda machinery of the BJP. Okay. Economy is in the worst phase. Okay. Economy is in such a worst phase in India today. The economy is in such a worst phase, even worse than 1947 economy, when India was partitioned into India and Pakistan. So much riots took place. so much riot took place. India was partitioned into India and Pakistan. So many refugees came from Pakistan. Okay, all those things happened. Still, the economy today in 2023 is even worse than the 1947 economy. Okay, this is a fact. This is a fact. Many reports have suggested this, that the economy is performing even worse. The economy is performing even worse than 1947. Many reports have suggested this, but media will not show this. So, but people are still believing. Okay, even after such a thing, people are still believing that Indian economy is booming. People are still believing that Indian economy is booming. So what a contradiction. Okay, you are spreading a lie which is completely opposite of the truth. Okay, so this is a contradiction, and this propaganda machinery of the BJP will also lead the BJP to win. This will also lead to a victory. This will also lead to the victory of the BJP. Now, final point. Okay, final point is that thus, as the election is not free and fair, BJP has 80% chances to win 2024. Okay, BJP has 80% chances to win 2024. Why? Because the election is not free and fair. And 80% chances to win 2024. Before India Alliance was formed, okay, before India Alliance, okay, before India Alliance was formed, the chances of BJP winning the elections was 99.99%. Okay, the chances of BJP winning the elections was 99.99% before the India Alliance was formed. Okay, prior to India Alliance. But after the formation of India Alliance, BJP has 80% chances to win 2024. Okay, so these are the things. So chances have been reduced. Chances have been reduced by 19%. 19-20% chances have been reduced. Okay, but BJP still has 80% chances to win 2024. Still has 80% chances to win. Okay, so hopefully you got the complete picture that why the BJP is going to win 2024. So thank you very much.